Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So Stephen A. blasts LeBron James for trying to lie on his podcast, making up excuses why they lost to the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. This man claimed they never had the parts they needed, the team wasn't fully constructed, so this man literally made excuses on why he underperformed. The Miami Heat didn't lose to Dirk because the team wasn't good enough. Apparently, they were good enough to make it to the finals, like Stephen A. said, and that's a fact. The reason why they lost was because simple. LeBron James choked. For whatever reason, in that series, he choked. And the man turned around and tried to make excuses on why. And this is the reason why we can't take this dude serious. All this man has to do is own it and be like, you know what? In that series, I didn't show up. I let my team down. Just keep it real. That's it. End of story. But no, he's not going to do that because LeBron is a master at deflecting. He never wants to take blame, no accountability, and he likes to dance around situations. So now this man is trying to say the reason why they lost was because a super team wasn't good enough. Or a super team never had enough pieces. They didn't have the necessary parts. And what's funny about that is in the playoff, you don't play most of the players. No. When you get to the postseason, you have about an 8-man rotation. Most teams have about an 8-man rotation, maybe 9 at most, but usually about an 8-man rotation. So that entire talk about roster and we didn't have the necessary parts, that don't even make sense. Because you're going to play the starters and maybe 3 other players. That's about it in the playoff. Most coaches, they're going to play the starting 5 and about 3 other players in the playoff. Your rotation is very short. It's limited. So that don't even make sense. And this is why we can't take LeBron serious. Because he's always lying, making excuses. He can't just own up to the fact. Because he knows in his mind, if he owns up to the fact that he failed, that's going to further put a nail in the coffin, which already has like 1,000,000 nails in it, that Michael Jordan is greater. So what he's going to do is make excuses, we didn't have the necessary parts, even though we had Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and myself. That wasn't good enough, we needed more help. Are you kidding me? With a super team. He needed more help. And Stephen A. couldn't stomach this bullshit. So he called him out and he put him on blast, rightfully so. So this is what Stephen A. Smith had to say. LeBron James, that is some straight bullshit. You've got to be kidding me. I know that you didn't just say that with the cameras rolling. That's bullshit. Somebody got to say it. Then Stephen A. went into his long speech, his long soliloquy, talking about LeBron and, why he's full of crap, which we all know. It's not that we hate LeBron and we want to blast him all the time, but this man can't seem to get out of his own way. He's always making up some bullcrap lies, excuses. It's all good when things benefit him, but you can't sit there and tell me that Miami Heat didn't have a better team than Dallas. Jason Kidd was past his prime. You made J.J. Barrera and Jason Terry give you the business? Come on. Stephen A. Smith even said LeBron had J.J. Barrera and Jason Terry guarding him. Imagine that. You're 6'8", like 250, 260. You got these little dudes guarding you. That's disrespectful. You think Michael Jordan would have J.J. Barrera or Jason Terry guarding him? It would be barbecue chicken. But no, LeBron can't just say, you know what? I let my team down. At that point in time in my career, I wasn't fully ready. He can't just say that. No, he's not going to say that. He's going to tell a bold-faced lie saying that they didn't have enough. They didn't have the necessary pieces, the necessary players to win a championship. But this is what this man do. And that sounds crazy. A super team, LeBron in his prime. This is LeBron at the peak of his powers. He didn't have enough. But funny enough, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh showed up. Stephen A. said it. All LeBron had to do was do his part. and they would be champions. And he would have his 5th ring, and he would have a better case. A losing case, but a better case. And this is a fact. And that's what separates Michael Jordan from LeBron and everybody else. Every single time he got to the dance, he brought home the trophy. Every single time. Every single time Michael Jordan got to a finals, he brought home the hardware. He never had excuses. You never hear him to say the reason why was, we was missing this player. LeBron have all the excuses in the world. The ball pressure wasn't right. The lighting was too bright. My shorts was too tight. This man have so many excuses on why they lost to Dallas Mavericks. No, you lost because you underperformed. Your teammates showed up. You just went on vacation. All you got to do is own it, man. That's all I'm saying. Just own it. You know what? I let my team down. That was on me. That's all you got to do. But LeBron is not one for accountability. The man has zero accountability. He's been like this his entire career. Any team he's on, if they lose, he finds an excuse. My team is not good enough. There's always an excuse. And that's the issue I have with LeBron that I don't see in Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. When Kobe loses, it's on me. I got to be better. If Michael Jordan was to lose, which he don't, he would take accountability. He would not point fingers. He wouldn't throw his teammates under the bus. He's not going to make excuses and say the roster wasn't good enough. He's not going to say, we didn't have all the pieces we need. Only LeBron does things like this. And this is why we can't take this man too serious. And this is why we have so many issues and we can't even entertain the GOAT conversation. This is the reason why we can't entertain the GOAT conversation, ever. Stephen A. went in on him. He had a field day. And Stephen A. is fond of LeBron. So if he's going in like that, you know. If Stephen A. Smith is going in on LeBron like that, even he knows it's bullshit. Like he said, you're going to really make excuses on why you couldn't get it done? Dwayne Wade showed up. Chris Bosh showed up. All you had to do was do your part and you would be a champion. You could have three-peated. If LeBron did his part, he could have three-peated. And then he would be able to say, Kobe three-peated, Michael Jordan three-peated, I three-peated. He would be able to say that. But because he choked, he can't say that. And all he do is run around and make excuses. There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. And I'm surprised J.J. Redick didn't check him on that and be like, hold on. But he's not going to do that because he's one of LeBron's biggest supporters. So of course he's not going to call him out for that bullshit. But everybody know that's bullshit. That's cap. This man is going to sit up here and lie or try to make excuses or throw his teammates under the bus. We didn't have the necessary parts. What are you talking about? You're in the NBA Finals, man. The rotation is limited. Everybody's not going to play. The starter is going to play. Maybe 2-3 other players are going to play. That's about it. The rotation is so limited. So that whole notion talking about we didn't have the necessary pieces, that's bullshit. You're making excuses because you couldn't rise to the occasion. Pause. So now you're making excuses on why you lost. Jason Terry outplayed you. How do you make Jason Terry outplayed you? J.J. Barrera outplayed you. Are you serious? And this is why LeBron will never be the GOAT. This is the reason why. You can't find an instance when Michael Jordan went to the finals. I'm not talking about when he was younger and he didn't have any help and he's losing. Everybody goes through that. But LeBron fans, they always use that. Oh, but he lost most of the times. We're not talking about that. We are talking about when you finally got to the dance. And when he got there, he never lost. And even if he did lose, I guarantee you, he would not make any excuses. He would get in the gym and get better. That's it. But not LeBron. He makes excuses, He's always made excuses. He have always thrown his teammates under the bus. This is normal behavior. Normal toxic behavior. Because he has no accountability. He refused to be held accountable for his own action. And Stephen A. called him out, put him on blast. Stephen A. even called out all the games he played, how much points he scored. 8 points, 17 points. The man had a 0.4 quarter. The man had a 0.4 quarter. Stephen A. even called that out. 0 points in the fourth quarter? You're not going to win a championship when you score donuts. Come on, man. How are you going to win? But LeBron did that. LeBron did that. And Stephen A had to check him on that. And you know his fanboys, they're going to make excuses. No matter how many times you point out all his flaws and why Michael Jordan is better, they don't care. They'll ignore that. You could talk about the rings he never lost, scoring titles, accolades. You could talk about anything. To LeBron fans, it don't matter. They don't care about reality. In their minds, LeBron is the greatest. No matter if he's 4-6. No matter if he's still playing in year 21, 22, trying his hardest to win a championship. In their minds, having a losing record make you the GOAT. I don't know how that works, but that's how they think. So Stephen A. Smith said LeBron was the sole reason why the Miami Heat lost the finals. He was the sole reason, and I do agree. It's on LeBron. Everyone who saw that series and just watched the game in general, you know that was on LeBron. If LeBron showed up, they're champions. What are we talking about? The rest is history. That loss is on LeBron. And that's a blemish on his record, on his resume, and you can't remove it. You can make excuses all you want, that's fine. Stephen A. also said, you didn't lose to the Mavericks because of your roster. You lost because of you. Because you aren't who you are. The LeBron James who ultimately learned how to become a champion. The LeBron James whose resume elevated and changed forevermore, who showed us he can be a champion and reminded us again by winning back-to-back championships, who ultimately overcame a 3-1 deficit and beat the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. You were not that dude in 2011. And he's right. So Stephen A. Smith is ultimately saying LeBron James wasn't that guy. He wasn't that great in 2011. Of course, eventually he learned how to win. They won their first championship. He got the Krabby Patty formula eventually, but at first he wasn't that guy, and I agree. Because with that super team, I don't want to hear any excuses. You should have got it done. If Bosh showed up, Wade showed up, you should have showed up and you would have been champions. And all this talk, oh, LeBron lost, it wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have much to say regarding that. And you would have a better case in the GOAT debate. A losing one, but you would have a better case. But because you flunked out, you choked, because you wasn't that guy, we got to call it for what it is. Stephen A. Smith continued. That was not about your roster. That was about you, period. There's no way around that. The roster didn't stop you from averaging 25 through the season, getting to the finals, and being up 2-1 in the finals, even when Dirk Nowitzki was scoring. What stopped you was that you were nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter. That's not something we've ever had to say about Michael Jordan. And that's why you're number 2 on the Mount Rushmore. So that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And I agree wholeheartedly. I can't even argue that. No one could really argue that. It's the truth. So LeBron's stance is they had to build a team around minimum guys. They didn't fill out the roster, So this is what LeBron had to say before Stephen A. response. Obviously, my first year in Miami, we had a big 3. Everyone said it's a super team, which it was. But we had to build our team around all the minimum guys, which was still okay, but we didn't fill out the complementary guys enough. We had Rio, we had Udonis, but we didn't have enough as far as complementary guys to actually make it all work. And we still made it to the finals. So that's his cop-out, basically. That's what LeBron had to say. Prior to Stephen A. dropping the ether on him for trying to lie, bullshitting, and seriously, man, this is sad. The man can't just own up and said, you know what? At that point in time in my career, I let my team down, I underperformed, I wasn't mentally there, whatever it is. And it's cool. Just own up to that. Accept the defeat and move ahead. Nope. He's going to always try to downplay it, make excuses. The same way he's trying to say they didn't have a super team. Okay, LeBron, but this is the GOAT, or this is the so-called GOAT. But if you know, man. You know the BS. You know the politics. I know this one is going to drive all the LeBron fans crazy. I know they're going to lose their minds with this one. But you know what? It is what it is, man. Stephen A. ain't never lie. And what he says is what everybody's thinking. At least the non-biased, we know what's up. But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy. It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.